They thought it was the most beautiful name in the entire world.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, it is the most beautiful name. Although when I first said it, people read me because they were like, "It's not Adriana, it's Adriana." So I had to
Yeah.
rolling my tongue a little bit.
How does your sister pronounce it?
Adriana.
Adriana. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But,
Understand.
well, we have to give a proper introduction to Miss Adriana. You are a
Mm-hmm.
three-time winner of Quebec's Drag Artist of the Year. So we are in the midst of a winner.
Of course, I am. Hi.
Hi. So how are you feeling now that everything's concluded? You made it to the top five. How are your feelings about the show in general?
I mean, top five is a huge accomplishment. I feel so proud of everything that I did. And even if I had some low moments, I just learned from them. And I'm not ashamed of anything that I showed on the show. And I'm so glad that people loved it and that loved everything that I brought. No, I'm such in a good place right now.
How would you describe your drag to people who aren't familiar with your sense of drag? I feel like you have a bit of a kink, a bit of a fetish, esque to your drag that I think you brought in
Yes.
at a few key moments that I love seeing. You
Yes.
don't see it often on Drag Race.
No, it doesn't because sometimes it can be. I mean, there were some moments that were not shown, I think, because there was a little bit too much. But yeah, my drag is very sexy. So I love playing with taboos, actually. So the way that I see sex is so interesting, it's so beautiful at the same time that I love playing with that in my drag. It My drag is also a mix of cultures, as Daniel is. So a little bit of Quebecois. I don't know if you saw, well, you saw the circus look that was
Mm-hmm.
very inspired by Quebec and the sunsets here in Quebec, which are beautiful. The Colombian side is a little bit more sensual, more showgirl kind of. So yeah, I'm a mix of both, and you never know what to expect with me. So
I was just in Quebec a couple days ago, so I do that. Those sunsets are
oh my
absolutely
God.
gorgeous. I was in Quebec
I,
City and then Charlevoix, and
what?
absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm so jealous that you get all those beautiful landscapes. In Ontario, we don't get that. We get like pink sunsets once in a while.
Yeah, no, here, I don't know, last weeks, it's been like every day. I love sunsets.
I love that. So, I'm sure you had some expectations going into Canada's Drag Race, what it was going to look like, feel like. How did those expectations measure up with the reality of filming the show and seeing everything air?
Okay, I wasn't expecting to be standing so long on that runway while getting the critiques. I mean, that was long. My poor feet were hurting so bad. Sometimes you see it. I mean, the production are so good, but sometimes you see it that the queen is a little bit lower than she is usually because we're not wearing
Like,
heels at the time.
it's
But
like a news anchor when they're just like on air for so long and they don't even wear pants. It's just like, well, whatever the
exactly.
camera doesn't see.
Exactly. So that was very surprising, and just seeing the interaction with people getting messages in the ear and make repeating some things. It was my true first experience on TV. So yeah, it was so interesting to see that, but I wasn't expecting it to be that hard. I mean, my sister Kiara did it, and she was like, "Okay, you can't imagine how hard it is." And I was like, "I've lived through many things. I've lived through a lot of things, and I can tell you that was hard.
I'm
That
sure it was
was
a lot of go, go, go all the time.
all the time, and it wasn't like, okay, you're done with that challenge. Congratulations, you get to live another day. But it's like, okay, next day that you're living, this is the channels. This is the challenge. You have to learn this. You have to do that. Okay, you have 6 hours.
Well, I'm sure you're stronger because of it. Do you feel like a stronger, queen, a stronger artist after doing the show, just from the filming process?
I am. I'm like, I did that. I'm ready for everything that's coming on my way and so ready to grab all the opportunities that are coming thanks to Canada's Drag Race.
I feel like you showed such a really interesting, vulnerable moment in the show last night when your partner came on the screen and you were so emotional. And, I think I personally work with my partner quite a bit. So I know that dynamic with working with your partner is so special.
Yeah,
Could you talk
yes.
to me a little bit about that? I know that it was kind of alluded that your partner does, work with you a lot on the looks and your work in general. So I'd love to learn more about that.
Yeah, so he is so invested in what I do, and he's always telling me, "Ah, you should do this, you should do that." And seeing him on that screen, and not just a video, it was literally a FaceTime that we were doing. It was so special. It gave me so much fire to be representing our art because yes, it's my drag, but I just feel that what you see is a result of both, a work of both. And we've talked together. We're working on new projects together. He's investing in my drag too. He's helped me so much that I couldn't be more grateful for a partner that I have right now.
I love that. It takes a village to raise a drag queen.
Yes, it does. It does. Oh my God. And I'm so into details that he's always like, oh, don't forget this, don't forget that.
Because
So
he'll
it's
see
super
things
helpful.
that you don't even see, and then it gives you a totally different perspective.
Exactly.
I love that. So last night the theme was prom, and I think for many queer people watching it, you just sort of get flashbacks to your own high school experience because prom is the
Yes.
one experience you want to like avoid at all costs because it's
Oh my
just
God.
so hetero.
Yes.
So it's just like
Yes.
stressful.
Uh,
So I'm curious. I know in the show you had actually mentioned the queer prom. It's never something that would have been possible for you when you were there. So what was that experience like for you?
So that episode is so it's a mix of feelings. It was a roller coaster just living that because yeah, it's true. I would have never I mean I went to an all male school.
Okay.
So my first interactions with girls were very cringy. So I was never comfortable around girls because of that. And I wasn't interested in them. So but I wanted to go with my partner at that time to prom, but I was so afraid that what people were gonna think, and I didn't feel that there were other people like me, and just seeing that these teenagers are working so hard for the community right now, I consider them as heroes. They are doing so much, and I am so proud of each of them. It's incredible that they're taking their time to help younger generations go through a step in your life that you can feel alone, and it can be so hard, but at least you can know that you have these people like this who are there to support you and encourage you.
Yeah, I think you said it the best last night. You were talking about how, that Friday and their GSA really, they're doing the work. I mean, we had a GSA at our school, but it was really just a place for people to come together and talk. The
Yeah.
fact that they were actually able to secure some all gender bathrooms. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge hoop to go through in a school to be
Oh my
like, you're
God,
going to
yes.
bathroom and you're going to designate it for that. That's just so much hard work and
And
it's so
and
nice
the
to see.
and the thing is that it's just little actions that are so easy to do. Just
Yes.
taking a sign off. Why make a drama around that if it's gonna make people comfortable, and it's but they're taking the time to do it, and it's so important.
So, what was it like dressing up somebody else on the main stage? Dressing up somebody up with, they're shorter than you, they look different than you. What was that process like? I'm sure you're not even given much time and just a bunch of material. Like, cut it up, glue it together, and off
Oh
you
my
go.
God. That's I think that was the hardest challenges of them all
It looked like
because it was running, and we yeah, we had to talk to each other. I wanted to learn more about the Friday and everything, but at the same time I was like, please don't move, I'm doing your eyeliner. So don't talk.
don't talk.
No, it was crazy, and the outfits, and I'm not a seamstress. I can sew a little, but creating an outfit for measurements that are not mine at all, thank God I know how to make patterns, because other than that, it would have been a mess. It's so, yeah, it was such a learning curve that I had to do in a couple hours.
But it looked amazing, and it felt like, Friday did have some, trouble having that confidence on the runway in the heels. But what a difference just from the actual runway experience and the confidence that they had because of the beautiful dress you gave them. And they said,
Yes.
they wanted to feel that sexiness with their leg, and you
Yeah.
really gave them that. So that's such an
Yes.
accomplishment.
Exactly, and that's the most important thing from me for that episode. Even if I left, I didn't leave like sad Of
Mhm.
course, I wanted to be on top four or top three, whatever. But um, I just feel that it was so beautiful to see them happy of the way that they looked, like in the most fabulous drag ever, going to prom, walking the main stage of Canada's Drag Race. So I was so proud that just that feeling, I left with my heart so warm.
I love that. The world is not ready for these teenagers that are, having their queer proms, and then 10 years later, they have so much experience being confident in who they are. Woof. They're
No,
just, the world's not ready for that.
and they deserve so much love. They deserve
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
much love.
So much love. So, what is next for you? You chatted a little bit about you and your partner working on some new projects together. So, what are some things you have in the works? I'm sure you've been brewing and planning some things.
Yes, I have. So, one of my passions is creating shows.
Mm.
So, conceptual shows, actually. So, I've done like Alice in Wonderland and transform it into Adriana's in Wonderland, kind of. So, I'm working in a couple of shows like that right now with dancers, of course. And the thing that I want to do in my shows, yeah, it's to show my art, but it's to showcase others too. So, everything that I'm working on, I'm including local queens, local kings, because we have so much talent. And yeah, I'm so lucky to have had Canada's Drag Race to show mine, but now I want to use my platform to uplift other artists. So that's one of the main projects that I have. I'm working on some music too. And of course, the big Canadian tour of Canada's Drag Race in January.
So excited for that. That's going to be so amazing. I'm so glad that this season has really had the chance that it deserves to really show Canada, because
Oh,
you know
yeah,
it
yeah.
hasn't been always that way, especially last year. So I'm so happy for
After all that we went through, we deserve it so much. Oh my God. It was a
that.
rough year.
It was a rough year, but I'm so happy to hear that you're using your platform to really, highlight some incredible drag and talent in Montreal. And if I'm in
Yeah,
Montreal, I would love to see this show that's hopefully coming up
just
very soon.
get in my DMs and I'll get you to my shows. It will be
Yeah,
a
I'm coming.
pleasure for me. Yes.
I absolutely love that. Well, Adriana, thank you so much. It was a pleasure seeing you this season, and I know this was not the last time we're going to see of you. And I hope
No,
you have a great rest of your day.
this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Bye,
Besos.
Adriana.
Bye bye.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. We're going to be chatting next week with the eliminated queen. I guess the queen that won't make it into the top three, but I mean, any queen that makes it this far in Canada's Drag Race, what an accomplishment. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for all your support on this season and supporting drag and Canadian talent. Have a great day. Bye, everyone. Happy Friday.